a common no-start problem on these ALH engines, 98 to 2003, end of 2003, is the shutoff flap can get stuck in the on position. In the on position, by that I mean that it blocks the airflow, which it is right now. So all you need to do is check that this little pod, you can see how the diaphragm or the piston is sucked into the pod. So what you do is you just take your finger and you push against here. Now the pod has extended and the flap is open. The engine should start now. Basically what happens is that when the computer shuts the engine off, it activates a solenoid, which is right here, and that solenoid brings vacuum over to this vacuum pod. So the pod gets sucked in like this. The lever or the flap closes the air intake, which causes the engine to stop quicker, and then after a second or so this should release. Okay, but sometimes this sticks just like that. If I just push against it a little bit, now it's open again. Now the engine will start. When it's sucked in like this, the engine will not start. It'll just crank and crank and crank. Almost sounds like a timing belt is broken because of how quickly it rotates. Long story short, all you need to do is take this assembly off. That's the EGR. That's the shutoff flap. It's all one assembly. This piece right here, from here to here. Take that off, clean out all the carbon. Once that is off, you can see it, inspect the intake manifold to see how much carbon is in there. At that point in time, you might as well do a whole intake decarb. But long story short, that's a no start due to carbon buildup. Once it's off the vehicle, I'll show you. It's just I've got another video showing a similar thing, but not as good a quality possibly. That's why I'm re-recording this. So yeah, once this is off, I'll show you the carbon and how it sticks. So the intake actually looks pretty clean. There's hardly any buildup. I'm gonna have to check. Most likely this is one where the adaptation has already been changed to the minimum allowable EGR operation. This is the EGR itself. I'm working one-handed, sorry. That's a shutoff flap in here, so when this vacuum pod pulls, it closes this flap, and this flap, when it stays closed, it prevents engine from starting because no air can get through. So you can see a nice opening now. Come on, nice opening. Computer shuts it. After a second or so, it's supposed to open up so that the vehicle can be started the next time around. And sometimes it sticks, so all we're going to do is clean out this carbon that's in there, and that should take care of that. Installation is reversal removal. Since I didn't show reversal removal, you'll have to watch one of my other videos. Okay, as you can see, that's fairly clean. When I close this flap now and let go, it comes up nicely. I was blocking the vacuum line here. That's why it didn't spring back. Hold on. Okay, you see, it's spring loaded, so it should bounce back nicely. There's a bit of carbon. Use whatever you can, or whatever works. I'm using a pick, I'm using a screwdriver, I'm using sandpaper, and I'm washing it down with brake clean. And then once it's clean, put it back together, and it'll work good again for several thousand kilometers. Tens of thousands, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to start the engine and then turn it on and off a couple of times, and you'll see that flap moving. Hopefully the phone doesn't move. Alrighty then. I said I was gonna check the Egr Adaptation. So this is the first time checking it, or first time today. I have my suspicion that I've reset it before. Adaptation, Egr. Oh, I guess I gotta log in, sorry. Log in, and I think it was 12233. 12233. Sorry, I'm looking at the cell phone and the computer. Adaptation, Egr 33768, and maximum allowable 33768. That's maximum, minimum, maximum, if that makes sense. So it was adaptive to before, and that would explain why there's so little Egr soot inside the intake manifold. Thanks for watching.